Because last time there was a WoW patch, my tank player couldn't get online.
That's weird.
Oh shit.
She's online right now though, so we get. What? Stop. Okay.
Sorry, I'm just doing a lot of ancillary things right now, but I need to make sure
Yeah.
everything is good. Okay, cool.
Take your
So
time.
Tails is the call. I just started stream. Where's the coin flip channel? Fuck me. There you are. Flip. It's heads! Team Brain Dead, you win the coin flip. What would you
We will
like?
take first hero pick.
Okay. What would you like to ban?
What would we like to ban? Team Brain Dead would like to ban Cursed Hollow.
This hollow is off the table. gillySharks, what would you like to ban?
We would like to ban Dragonshire.
Dragonshire is gone. Where are we going to for game number 2? Advent.
Let's take it to Towers of Doom.
Sick. It's always a good game 2 map. And where are we going to for game number 1?
I bet you can guess.
Rex
It's
is sold out. Damn it.
No. How dare you? We're going to Volskaya.
All right. So you guys, I think I've casted both of you before, but I'll go through the normal spiel. I'll host the lobby. I'll invite you in. I know both your teams pretty well, so I'm just gonna invite them at the same time, and I can swap them around. Plus, because gillySharks also has all the same portraits, it's super easy. When it comes to pauses, that is on you, the teams. I just don't want to mess up your team fights. I will handle the unpause of the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Whoever wins game number 2, I will DM either one of you, and you can send one member from your team, preferably one member. And we'll do a short interview with that one player, and that will be it. Any questions for me before we get going into our wonderful first match?
Oh man, we're good to go.
We good.
All right, good luck, have fun. Stream is going to go up in the next 5 seconds, and I'll see you in lobbies.
All right.
All right.
Good luck.
Stay. Okay, Full Sky Foundry. And it's all muted. Hello and everyone. What? Hello and welcome back everybody to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am Bahamut, your caster this evening. On the left hand side, we're going to be having the gillySharks, and on the right, we're going to be having Team Braindead. This is a Division B East matchup, and we are in week 4. Instant Samuro ban onto. Oh, that just makes sense. I mean, you don't let Stark have fun. And on Volskaya Foundry, which has been notably their map of choice here, that is a huge hero for them. We also just really quickly want to note, thank you all who stuck around last night and watched the games through all the issues. We're still going through a little bit of a rough spot with some of the connection, but hopefully it's leveled out. Hopefully we're kind of going to be sitting in a good spot for you. I just want to bring you the best games I can possibly bring. So I do apologize if we have a couple frames dropping here and there, but we should be at least a little bit more level. I don't want to jinx myself too bad. So let's go ahead and get into this. On the left-hand side, gillySharks, excuse me, on the right-hand side, Team Braindead, they won the coin flip. They went ahead and went for first pick here. Cursed Hollow was banned out by them. Dragonshire was banned out by gillySharks. Towers of Doom is going to be game number 2, and Volskaya Foundry is match number 1, and that's going to be choice for gillySharks. As we get into this draft here, we have the Maiev and the Stukov being banned out. Very strong heroes, and it's a great start here. It's a lot of great lockdown, as well as the silence offers so much into your team. And then the other thing too is that Diablo is so phenomenally strong in these situations. You can get so much value from them. So I love the pickup onto this here, and that's a first pick Joanna. And I wonder if it's to pull away from Jinxie Cat, because Jinxie Cat has been known to play a lot of Joanna. I do believe Team Braindead does play it here and there, but I think it might just be one of those things like, all right, well, let's pull you off of that. Now, the other thing to note, too, is I didn't look into it too deeply. Oh, this is the first pick I have there. But I didn't look into it too deeply, but there were some changes that came into some of these tanks, so we might be seeing an Arthas reprise here. I do think she does play that hero, and the Abathur combination onto the Arthas, I think, can be really, really strong. But we'll see, as we are going to be getting. Okay, cool. Oh, it's not that bad. I'm looking over at my own stream. I'm just like, all right, we have a couple little ones here and there, but it looks like we're still going to be holding out just fine. But that will be the Genji and the White Mane paired up together here, and Genji with that mobility is going to be difficult to deal with. But the one thing I want to note is the changes that came into Arthas were pretty. I don't think they're. Were huge, but it still is a buff is a buff is a buff. Either way, let's get back into this draft. We do have that Malthael being banned out by the members of gillyShark. Like that. What do we get? They need a main tank. They need a solo laner. They need a support. Realistically, I say you ban out the Alexstrasza here. This could be a solo support Abathur. It absolutely can, but I like the Alexstrasza being banned out. Yep. And the reason I'm saying Alexstrasza is because of the fact that she has a lot of great point control in that dragon form, and she does a phenomenal job of sustaining a lot of high health pool heroes, as well as just having some great damage done. But we actually get the Tyrande. They're just like, all right, cool, take Alexstrasza away from us. That's fine. We don't care. We're going to go ahead and get some more lockdown with that Tyrande, and not gonna lie, that's pretty terrifying to be honest. The damage amplification you can get from her passive can be huge, as well as once you get into that 13 talent tier with Dahaka, and you can have the primal aggression, I do believe, is it, where it's the armor reduction for 20%, or it's negative 20 armor, not percent. But this is going to be a Yrel for the solo lane into that Dahaka, and then a Kael'thas for some poke damage. I really like the draft of Team Braindead. I think they've got a really strong start for this draft. I kind of like this a little bit. But we'll see how they answer on the side. They don't have a main tank yet, and that's what they're going to be needing. And that's the Arthas. That's the Arthas I discussed earlier. It got a bit of a buff. Can play in that rotational way, has some great lockdown. For example, if Genji steps too far up, Howling Blast, Tyrande has the Lunar Flare, Dahaka can potentially, if there, or burrow in and then get the Tongue Drag. You've got Junkrat with the Concussion Mine. So a lot of great displacement, a lot of great setup coming out from gillySharks. It's going to be the execution. And speaking of execution, I mean, we look at Genji and Kael'thas. Those are really, really high damaging heroes. It's kind of terrifying to deal with, but let's go ahead and get into this game number 1 between these two teams. That's an early Junkrat. Snag, I agree a little bit, but at the same time, Chest Looter wants to play that Junkrat here. right, let's go ahead and get into this game number 1. On the left-hand side, we are going to be having gillySharks with Kagehiri going to be on the Abathur, Jinxie Cat going to be on that Arthas, Stark going to be on the Dahaka, Chess Looter going to be on that Junkrat, and Kaimo Tripson dancing on the Tyrande. And on the right-hand side, we are going to be having Team Braindead with Advent Blood going to be on the Joanna, Midra. They were saying into chat for me, so it's Midra, not Myldra Knight. But it's Midra is going to be on the on the Kael'thas. We'll have DB Smiley going to be on the White Mane, Benji going to be on the solo lane Yrel, and Zatch going to be on that Genji. Let's go ahead and get into this. No Kayn Ree. I mean, that's actually a good point. Decker Kayn went through this entire draft without even being considered, banned, or, well, picked up. But at the same time, that just shows where Tyrande currently sits within the meta and how highly valued she is in this level of play. It looks like we have Benji looking for an angle here, but no, going to be going right back into that bottom, or actually going to be going into that bottom lane. Bit of a flank position, but realistically just going to be getting to the wave easier here. Now, we are having rotations between these members, and I think that's a definite from the members of gillyShark because they don't have that extra member in lane. Yo, Ara, what's up? Thank you for coming by. Thank you for supporting the stream. But I do gotta say, like, to have the Abathur is going to be strong for them, but it's realistically how they're gonna play these rotations. They have a little bit of a quicker clear, especially with that Kael'thas. We actually get a double stun. If they were collecting those level 4 Lunar Flare questing talents, that'd be perfect. We actually do see Zatch. I like how they're playing this. They're actually utilizing Advent Blood and Zatch to anchor for the team and also demount during these rotations. The mobility from Zatch on that Genji is a huge factor for them, but camps and items, and that is going to be the priority for the members of gillyShark as they go ahead and they grab this. They have the owl that goes out scouting the enemy team, as well as just seeing if they're going to be on their hard camp on the right-hand side. Not just yet, but they do pick up this item on the left. The other thing to note really quickly, questing talent-wise through level 1, we're actually going to be seeing the tissue regeneration at level 1 from the Dahaka, if I'm not mistaken, yes. So looking for a little bit more of that sustain, not looking for that speed. And to be honest, Dahaka on this map, I've always personally worried a little bit about it because of the fact that I think Dahaka struggles here for the rotations, but Midra is going to get caught out here, and that is going to be first blood going over to gillyShark. They will get their 4s first, but that's not too far behind on the side of Team Braindead, as it is going to be the Lunar Flare questing talent there. Actually, I don't know it off the top of my head. Is it just it's just Lunar Blaze? All right, of course. And we actually have an adaptation on Stark, Hero Stalker. Interesting. Typically, we see the one who collects at level 4 for the extra sustain, or the ability to collect essence a little bit quicker. Helps you get that level 1 questing talent, either tissue regeneration or the enhanced agility. But either way, I mean, I gotta say, that's an interesting adaptation. We'll see how that's gonna work out for them, as I do believe it gives. I'm actually gonna read that here once we check this rotation. Because I don't know it off the top of my head. Increased essence gained by takedowns by 100%. Gain 1 essence each time enemy hero is hit by Darkstorm. That's, if you are going to be stepping up into groupings, I do actually agree with that. That makes a lot of sense to me, because if you're going to be on this brawly map, you're going to, step into the enemy team and they're going to be clumped up. For example, for here, they could, be sitting there and heading essence consistently. So if you are going to be brawling more, absolutely, I do actually agree with that. I like the adaptation, on Dahaka. This team is all about adaptation. They've also got that Abathur. Oh, I can't see who that is who has black text as their name, but welcome everyone. Who do they copy, though? Oh, who do they copy? Arthas. Absolutely Arthas or Tyrande. I personally like the idea of the Tyrande. That's, I believe you should be able to get the double value from her trait with 2 Tyrandas. I don't know if it was stacked, but at least you can then mitigate a lot more damage, or you can weaken the armor of a lot more enemy heroes. So that's my vote, but at the same time, an aggressive Arthas, like an Arthas walking into your enemy team, that's a little terrifying. The other thing, too, is we actually have, I don't know it off the top of my head. The level 1 for White Mane, who's going to be being able to heal the friendly team, going to be Clemency. I actually noticed, I knew that she took that talent because of the fact of just her laugh is a little bit different when she heals teammates with Clemency. But either way, this is still going to be the point in control for gillyShark. There is 31% in favor for Team Braindead, but they need to find an entry point here. Meanwhile, Dahaka's still in that bottom lane. pushing up a little bit more. They have these 4 vents over here for them to go ahead and get the Brush Stalker into, so that's going to be a really powerful tool. But they go ahead and utilize just the conveyor belt to get there in a little bit quicker, trying to stack up that essence a little bit quicker. That is a lot of damage coming out onto Stark. They use the biotic emitter to also make sure that they get the healing out of the friendly team. Meanwhile, they also clear out that turret, and they need to step up onto this point as the entire team is here. Abathur needing to get some damage, but this is the problem with Abathur compositions in this situation, is you actually get to the point where you need to fight this aggressively and you can't, but they're making it work here as they do claim the first Triglav Protector 4 minutes into this game. 5 minutes into this game, but it's going to scale at the 4-minute mark. Definitely a strong start for gillyShark here. Now the question is, do they push in hard into mid? Oh wow, DB Smiley taking a lot of damage there. Or do they just go ahead and try and open this up a little bit? And I like, you know, I'm seeing a lot more Tyrande play because she has her reprise, and the other factor too that she has I'm seeing her in competitive play, and then you have Whitemane who has this channeling ability. I love the option of having that Lunar Blaze to specifically, and utilizing the Lunar Flare to specifically knock her out of her healing, because if she's stunned, she cannot cast Inquisition, she cannot cast Clemency. There we go. And actually, this Triglav Protector is being very well defended from Team Braindead. They actually don't get the value they're looking for. Typically, we see teams really get a lot of value in this mid lane, getting those forts, and as well as in this top lane, getting the well. But in this situation, Triglav Protector at 9% with 5 seconds left on it. They're just going to back out of here, making sure they're not dropping too far into the lane. But Mydra and DB Smiley clearing out mid while Stark just gets some work done. They're trying to get the kill, but I don't think they're going to be able to get the dinosaur just yet. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Benji has has continued to just soak this lane as we are getting a decent amount. Okay, so Coot, thank you so much for coming by and supporting the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Couldn't see your name because of the color in there. Oops, and I hit the wrong button. And I wanted to show that. There we go. It's like I'm really learning how to broadcast all of a sudden. But either way, we actually have 10s almost achieved for both teams, and we also have Kael'thas finishing out that Mana Addict at level 1, going to get them some decent value with that shielding, sustain in a lot more of these fights, as Stark is taking a lot of damage, going to get the tongue drag out, but they should have Essence to pop, and that will be fine. They also have the hat from Kagekiri, as Zatch is needing to get out of here. They're invading onto this camp. Stark is trying to find an angle onto this Joanna, and they actually get the tongue drag. No follow-up from the team. Lunar Flare not going to be connecting, but they do confirm the fortification camp. The 10 advantage does kind of force the enemy members away. The other thing to note too is we actually are going to be having Starfall from the Tyrande, so no Shadow Stalk, no sneaky entries. Otherwise, it's pretty standard across the board. Dahaka does have some decent value with adaptation or isolation, but it is going to be the isolation, right? I'm reading this right? Yeah. His 10 talent icons are way too similar to me, and I always mess them up. But we actually have the Lunar Flare going out, won't be connecting. We also see the Army of the Undead popping. That is going to be the clone onto the Arthas here, as we did talk about earlier, separating the team away. But the thing is, they're just working on this biotic emitter. Meanwhile, Kagekiri is just kind of utilizing this Abathur clone just to zone in a sense, as Kaimo trips and will pick that up with the help of Chess Leader, but they're starting to move in. Genji's the first one to fall in the situation. Kagekiri on that clone is getting low, but that is just a clone. The Reptile comes out. Benji's going to be knocked away. That is going to be the kill onto Urel, and a 2-for-0 trade, and they get quite a bit of value here. Now, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them try and push hard into top with a couple members dead for the next 10 seconds here. It's going to get them some decent value. The other thing to note, too, is we do have the 10s for the members of Team Braindead, and they are going into... Oh, God, I know. It's Ardent Defender. Is it... Holy... It's not Holy Avenger. No, that's her... What is it? I'm trying to... It's a giant sanctification, basically. Sacred Ground. I was close. And we also are going to be having this Scarlet Aegis out from the Whitemane. And then the big thing to note here, Pyro Bomb from Mydra. Pyro Bomb. Not going to go for the AoE zone tool that you often see with the Phoenix. Interesting. Well, that's huge with an Abathur comp. Absolutely. Meanwhile, though, I do want to note here that Kagekiri going in this bottom lane doing exactly what Abathurs need to do in this situation and just soak up in the furthest opposing lane from the enemy team. That way you just get as much value as possible. As Chess Leader and Campbell Tripson will get this camp that will be pushing into the top lane. I like what they're doing here, and this is a good setup for the members of gillyShark as Jinxie Cat jumps onto the point, 13-11. They'll go ahead and grab their camp on the right-hand side, on the side of Team Braindead, and just try and have some pressure here. Meanwhile, Urel in bottom, just soaking this up, making sure that Abathur doesn't get that value, but Stark is able to go ahead and just solo this camp. They'll have that turret for this next fight, and they can burrow in at any point. Now, this is the one thing I was talking about with Dahaka on this map. look at this top lane. There are no flank benefit positions from a Dahaka. The only entry point with a Brushstock are these two vents over here. That is the closest you will get, unless you go over to the side, as we actually have the extra coming out from the Genji. Lunar Flare going to be going out as well. Apparently just going to be having some poke damage onto Kaimo Trips and going to be healed up just fine because, as Tyrande does so well, actually Jinxie Cat in a bit of a bad spot. They really need to find some healing onto them. Scarlet Egg is coming out, but Stark is also popping up into the lane. The turret will be going out as well. Jinxie Cat stepping up. That is the Army of the Undead popping as well. Kage Kiri getting the clone. Advent Blood sustaining through all this. The Riptire comes out, though. They're looking for that kill with it, and Advent Blood might not have what they need, but they actually get the Arthas here. Jinxie Cat falls. They trade Whitemane for Arthas, and they're starting to get away from this as Kage Kiri clone is going to be ending. Zatch confirms it, making sure that they don't get any more value from that. But the thing is, they got the point to 52%. Whitemane is down. They can't really go into this too well. Though I will say this, they don't have a main tank on the side of gillyShark. What's up, Light Warrior? Thanks for coming by. They're going to step up at this time, though. Arthas is down for the next 6 seconds. Whitemane has just come back. They've got to make a move quick. It's 93%. If they're going to try and do something, now's the time. Zach going to be jumping up onto this point. Stark isolated away from the team. Going to pop that brush, or they, Primal, no, oh my god. Dark Swarm. There we go. And just making sure that they also get that essence stacked up as quickly as possible. But they play this safe. They don't have their clone. That's now up for another 25 seconds. There's 0% for the enemy team, so they can play this slow. They've definitely got the time. That also allows, as you can see in the bottom lane on the minimap, Kage Kiri to step up, and they'll go ahead and hat this lane and just try and push through as quickly as possible. They're looking for the 16 advantage in this situation. If they can get that, that'll allow them to just fight onto this so aggressively. But I like this play coming out from Team Braindead. This is going to be Jinxie Cat showing up in chat while she's dead. Just value. But that is going to be the top lane opened up a little bit here. And so, yes, it's a great play, but it still yielded the enemy team 16. And realistically, yes, you're going to get charged. I like the Sacred Ground still going because it goes for as long as she's sitting in the point. Or standing within the circle. So as long as she doesn't leave, she's fine. And that is also the Scarlet Aegis going out as well. They actually move this over. They continue to get the Sacred Ground. Once again, the X-Strike goes out, and that is going to the Pyro Bomb onto Tyrande. They confirm the Triglav Protector. Kage Kiri on the clone will be falling as well. They find Stark in this backline. Mydra is trying to get the damage out. They get the boost from the conveyor belt. They're starting to get this chase, but that is the second Triglav Protector of the game going over in favor for Team Braindead. Now, what will they do with it? How are they going to be able to make sure that they achieve 16 throughout this, as well as get a lot of great pressure? And they're going to be stepping up with the team. They're all going to be working in on this, and that is going to get them a lot of value. But look at this, just bottom lane really quickly. Abathur pushing in, getting a lot of value. We'll see how this is going to work out. No, actually, clone is available for the Abathur. They can pop that. It looks like there is going to be a clone target going out. Okay, no, never mind. I saw it go on cooldown. I'm just like, wait a minute. Or maybe I wonder if it's a visual bug when he's in. Yeah, so it's a visual bug. It's 27 seconds. I was like, how did it go from 40 to that? But either way, Stark is a little bit low here. Gonna burrow, gonna pop the Essence. Chest Looter also getting low. Stark needs to get out of here. With the help of Kage Kiri, they do manage to sustain through this. Jinxie Cat needing to get out, making sure that they get no deaths. 16 to 15. They're closing that gap, but the members of gillyShark, they know this. They want to go ahead. Oh, the burrow from Stark. They're going to go ahead and pop out this corner. Mydra seems to be the target here. They want to get under that Kalathos, but DB Smiley is isolated from the team. They go ahead and get a lot of damage out. That is the Bless Shield as well. Kage Kiri going to get the clone onto the Dahaka. Another tongue drag actually going to be going on to Zatch here. They're able to get away. They burn so much on the side of gillyShark to try and get this, but they don't get any kills. Now, granted, yes, they still have value across the map. Point C has been opened up quite a bit. Ember, what's up? Arthas clone? Yeah, exactly. Arthas clone 100%. When we were in draft, or no, excuse me, when we got into the early game, and Snag was asking, like, who's the clone? I'm just like, it's got to be Arthas. Like, Arthas 100%. I was actually also saying Tyrande. I thought that would be a little terrifying to go into, but it seems like that's okay. They're all right with that. Ooh, as I just need to get something to drink. Biotic Emitter will go over to gillyShark here, and they will pick up the siege camp in favor for the members of Team Braindead. Now, the big play is point C. That's going to be at the bottom of the map. And the one thing I want to talk about is how this has been opened up in favor for gillySharks. Being able to have that sustain in the lane with that well is a big factor on this map. And since they took that away, I'm a little bit worried for them on the side of Team Braindead. Now, it's 18 to 16, though. The levels and the experience gap is starting to close quite a bit. Stark is trying to open this up. It looks like they're trying to go for a rotation onto the Dahaka, but it's not going to be happening anytime soon, as Datch is looking for it, but not going to be happening. They go ahead and work onto their siege camp on the left-hand side, and Dahaka looks like they'll be able to just meander up here and kind of do their own thing for a little bit, just maybe just playing Hearthstone for a bit. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, bottom lane, we do have Kagekiri continuing to push with that Abathur. That is going to be not going to be won over quickly, but I think they'll be able to get a little bit of value, maybe even weaken that fort a little bit more if they can pull them and hold them in this lane. Poke continuing to come out, and they're going to make rotations and also get some... Actually, the one thing I want to see here... No, Tyrande doesn't stack up owls anymore, does she? I need to double check. I don't know. No, she doesn't. Oh no. There we go. That minion should do it. We shouldn't pop back onto her. Oh, I'm trying to get a minion really quickly. Oh, there we go. It's gonna go. Melee minion should die, and then we should lose our little counter. Boom. Perfect. All right. I don't honestly know. I played Tyrande, I think, once maybe. Felipe Hutz, what's up? Thank you for coming by. They do actually confirm the fort in bottom lane, by the way, too, and that pushes them 19.5 to 17. The experience gap between these two teams is really just is held out so well, and I don't know what they're going to do here on the side of Team Braindead. I think they're going to try... They got to take the fight before it's going to be 20s. Now's the time to do it. What play do they go for here? Point C is going to be started by the white main. They do have a couple entry points for that Dahaka, I do want to note, left and right side here, but that's really about it. Dahaka soaking for that 20. They are going to be looking at that top 4, and they can give over a little bit of percent. I like this play. They're just, it's aggressive, but as long as they don't lose anyone in the bottom lane, that's 20 confirmed for them. They can get the brush stock in at any point now. They go for the upgrade on the isolation as well for that splash, looking for a couple members too close together. The warning goes out onto that point as well because Dahaka is pushing that top lane, but they don't see them anymore. And it looks like they want to go for a little bit more. I mean, if they can... Oh, they get the scout on this, and Stark knows they need to back out of here. That is going to be the burrow coming as well. They pulled him across the map, and he just burrows into bottom lane. They didn't go for the Apex Predator, reducing the cooldown from 60 to 30, but they still managed to get out of there, get a free fort, go get their 20s. Now, support camp and rotation, can they make it? Are they going to try and fight into 20s? They go ahead and take out the fortification camp in favor for gillyShark. And the one thing that I kind of want to know... Hydra just waiting for the wave to come up to them. But the one thing I want to note is... It's point C Triglav Protector. A lot of teams have ended off of this point, and I think, at least for myself, when I play this map and it's point C, nerves are high. Especially point, A, which we'll call D, because it's the 4th one, it just cycles through. Still terrifying. This is a rough spot to be in on the side of Team Braindead. So this is the Triglav Protector. Looks like they're going to put the there's going to be the Junkrat and Tyrande jumping in here. Abathur does have clone available. Every heroic is off cooldown. But it's that Storm Talent here. Gonna go ahead and get the root onto DB Smiley. No follow-up just yet. The isolation does not connect, I do believe, as Advent Blood is looking to slowly get out of here. If that adaptation connected, that would have been huge for them. Doesn't look like it's going to be happening just yet. And they, I said adaptation, that isolation. But that is going to be the tongue drag going out. They will pop the unstoppable. Benji jumping in. That is the repositioning onto Jinxie Cap. They need to drop this biotic emitter, but they're getting blown up, and that is going to be the member falling. No one picking up the biotic emitter just yet, but they are kind of dying over it at this point. As the Triglav Protector is doing so much work, they pick it up and drop it right back down, as that is going to take a ground out from the Urel as well. And this is not going well for gillyShark as they start to turn this around, and they need to back out of here. They only get the keep front gate, and typically we see a lot more from teams, especially this late, but Jinxie Cat getting caught out there, not being able to drop the biotic emitter was a huge play for Team Braindead. And meanwhile, top lane, they have a decent push going into this. Abathur with that mule is going to be trying to do the best that they can, but the siege is going to be a little bit too strong in this later half of the game. And this is going to be the 3rd Triglav Protector really just kind of played out and waiting for the Arthas to come back and making sure that they don't step up too far and just pushing back the lanes. I like this play. It's a safe play. They're not staggering a second death. They're not staggering any sort of big advantage. They do lose it out on that 20 talent tier advantage where they could really fight into them and be aggressive. But now it's going to be 20 to 20. Triglav Protector has ended. They know that they don't have their Arthas just yet. That is going to be the Starfall coming out from the Tyrande at this time. They drop the Sacred Ground. They're looking to pull in Stark here. No one dying just yet. The turret also falls or is put down in the back line. Mydra is looking to get some poke out here and just open up this top lane a little bit more, but Abathur's done a phenomenal job of keeping that sustained, as well as utilizing the Mule for that, oh my god, the long route coming up from Jinxie Cat, but they go ahead and get Mydra Knight out of here. They're starting to step up even further. That is going to be the Burrow coming out from the Dahaka at this time. They're looking for a flank onto them, but that is once again Kagekiri in the clone, getting a lot of damage putting onto them. Mydra Knight is so low, so is DB Smiley. They get the Kael'thas, they get the white mane. Who else can they find here as they look to Benji? That is Chest Looter stepping up. They get the Righteous Hammer, but that is another kill. Meanwhile, they're chasing after Zatch as well as Advent Blood. They get the slow, but with those members down, they move into the top lane, the quickest lane for themselves, and they look for a keep as well as catapult pressure. Now, 3 dead. They actually take out the sidewall. Can they rush this? There's about 30 or so seconds. They need to make a quick call if they want to go for this. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be able to siege this down quick enough. They drop the turret as well. They will have catapult pressure. That's a big factor here. I don't think they can do it. There's 20 seconds. Isolation is not going to connect from Stark. This is a little risky as we are entering that lower phase. They don't have the biggest and best core defenders in the world, but they definitely have a lot of value here. Extra going to be coming out from the Genji, looking to get those resets and trying to get that over and over again, but I don't think it's going to be happening as they step around it. They continue to attack the core. Kael'thas is back at this time. Whitemane is going to be back at this time. Things could go really south here as the core is starting to fall a little bit below, is just falling below 50%. All the members are back. They lose the Tyrande. That is going to be the, oh my god, Chest Looter with the, Living Bomb on them. Oh my god, 16%. Genji going to go ahead and confirm this. Are we going to get a Kalaris core? Kagekiri steps up with the Dahaka as well, and that is going to be game number 1 going over to gillyShark. GG, well played. Oh my dear. That was a close end, and that's actually the second close end I've got to cast in the last 2 days. Ooh. Grand Paladin, what is up? Thank you for coming by. Who's going to be the Evo target for that fight? That was 4v5. For a lot of the fights, it was often... Oh no, don't... There we go. Keep going, stream. Lokja Man, what's up? Thanks for coming by. But no, the Arthas typically was a lot of the targets, and in that last fight, they actually... The last 2 fights, they actually utilized the Dahaka as... No, one of the fights, then there was Arthas again, but that last one, the core push, they cloned Dahaka and they were just attacking the core because I am honestly surprised that I didn't think that they had that, honestly. The pyro bomb that went out onto Chest Looter and then Zatch being able to clean that up, I was just like, is this the end? And then Kymo trips and fell right before that as well. Ooh, I'm just looking over at stream because this is so good. I absolutely, like, this end rush is so awesome. Oh my god. All right, let's go ahead and just show talents really quickly as I still want to see this end, because I honestly can't believe that they were able to do that. Why not use the healing thing? Oh, did they not drop the biotic emitter right away? Oh no, on the enemy team, or I guess on Team Brain Dead. Oh no! Sorry, you can't see the value of the one true carry. Dang. But that, yeah, that core, oh, that was close. Yeah, because Chest Looter, I thought they were going to continue to poke on it, and then Genji was like, nah, Swift Strike. Dude, you're dead. But yeah, they go ahead and confirm that game number 1. That was an awesome match. Let's go ahead and pull this away. We are going to set ourselves up for match number 2. We are going into one of my favorite maps for a match 2, or a match 3, or a best of 5, or best of 7. Or a best of 10. No, I don't think you can do that. Best of 11. Tournament draft. No match history. All right, let's get the teams in here and get ourselves set up for game number 2 here. We're going to be going to Towers of Doom, and I couldn't be more ecstatic about this. Also, hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming by. I really, really appreciate all the support this evening. Thank you all so much. This is not the only match I'm going to be casting. I also have a match right after this for the Division C. That is going to be Squad 9 Alpha versus Work Hard, Throw Hard. So, if you are enjoying the stream, please go ahead and hit that follow button. You can know when we go live. You can know when I'm going to be streaming. Last night and lately, we've had a couple issues with some drops, and I do apologize about that. Spectrum is not sure how to do internet, I guess, anymore. So we are going to do our best to work through it and just stream through it. I do apologize, everyone, for all the stream drops that might be happening at very inconvenient times, but I just want to all thank you all for being here and supporting the stream and just hanging out and watching amazing Pro-Am Here's the Storm. I'm supposed to be flying to Europe right now, but flight's canceled. What? What happened? I want to know that story, Lookjaman. Or are you on your flight and you're just talking to us? Because you're like, man, all I want to do on my flight is just watch awesome Here's the Storm, and I just want to watch Bahamut cast it, right? That's actually what it was. Let me go ahead and set up the captain. Teams are. All right. But also, if you are enjoying the stream, yes, please hit that follow button. Do not forget it is September. I don't know if anyone's been gifted subs in this channel, but if you have been gifted a sub in this channel, you can renew it for a full $1, I think it is. Check that out, definitely. We got an R from all of them. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. We are going to...
Towers of Doom.
All right, Biotometer wasn't dropped on the push into bottom keep. They picked it up and they were referencing when the red team was getting chased in top lane. They didn't use it to save the 3 that died. Awesome game, both sides, though. No, okay, I didn't realize what you were talking about. Okay, thank you so much for that, Grand Paladin. Okay, let's get into this. On the left-hand side, we have gillySharks, and on the right, we have Team Braindead. gillySharks are up 1 game from that first match. Let's talk about the map bans before we get into this, because this is going to be ban phase. We're probably going to be seeing... Samuro ban, probably? It's in the 1-2. It has to happen. Yeah, it's Stark Samuro. They don't want to let that through. So, coin flip was won by Team Braindead. They went for first pick in that first match. Cursed Hollow was banned out by Team Braindead. gillySharks banned out Dragonshire. Volskaya Foundry was the first map chosen by gillySharks, and Game 2 was chosen by Team Braindead for Towers of Doom. And so we continue to see the same 2 bans on the left-hand side from gillyShark. They just don't want to deal with that Maiev as well as the Stukov. And that is going to be... I also think that's like DB Smiley Stukov, because I think he's like... notably a really, really strong Stukov, probably. And I actually think that's the truth now that I think about it. Yeah, I think it's targeted towards DB. But hey, if Stark can't play Samuro, they can't play that. But they also ban out the Abathur, and this is actually something that notably has happened quite a bit on gillyShark's team, where they actually play the solo Abathur support on Towers of Doom, and they've won out with it a couple times. I'm stuck in my office in NYC waiting for updates. Stuck in your office? Updates? What is happening? Is there some big crazy thing that's happening that people can't leave? I've honestly just been so oblivious to the world around me, honestly. I've been trying to fix my internet so hard and also just trying to work throughout the day. So I'm sorry if I hope I didn't miss anything crazy. All right. We have Genji Tyrande Junkrat. Okay. And we have the Dahaka Diablo. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a ban onto the Arthas or onto the Joanna. Actually, the Joanna, yeah. It's one, it's targeted towards Jinxie Cat, and 2, it's a very, very strong hero for this map. It sets up a lot for the Genji as well as Tyrande. Junkrat gets value off of it too. Let's go TBD. You got this one. Coot, thank you for coming by and cheering on your friendly teams. That's my favorite part about casting, honestly, is seeing you all in chat just cheering for teams. Like, that warms my heart so much. Thank you all for being here and supporting your friends and your teams. This is very awesome of you. But all right, we are going to be getting a Greymane ban, and that makes sense. Diablo is a very divey hero. Greymane pairs well into that. Dahaka gets the flank. That is a lot of value there. What is that one emote? Is that... That's so good. Ooh. Team Braindead just like... No. Okay. I was like, are you about to pull some Heroes Hearth stuff? Is this about to be some Heroes Hearth? No. No. All right, so let's actually talk about this draft. So the Dahaka, Diablo, Decker, Kane, Asmodan. Strong start. Dahaka's in the solo. There's going to be a 4-member rotation with the Diablo, Decker, Asmodan between mid and bottom. They need wave clear, so they need to pick up something like a Jaina or a Gul'dan or a Kael'thas. And the Kael'thas in the last game was phenomenal, so I don't think that they don't need to go away from that. But they actually pick up the Thrall. Okay. Because my big concern now is the wave clear for the Asmodan to get those stacks. Now, granted, yes, you can go into Wrath and you can get a lot of stacking from the autos, and then you get Bombardment and you get a lot of value from that. But that's not often the case. A lot of teams have been going into the Gluttony. Gluttony gets a lot of I think there's a quicker response from it, as well as the fact that you do have and by quicker response, I think people finish the quest out a little bit quicker. Just being able to get those extra stacks off of hitting heroes, as well as you then get the cooldown reduction at 200, so you can just consistently dump out that damage. But let's go ahead and get into this. Game number 2 between these two teams. This is going to be awesome. I cannot wait for this. Woo-wee. Stream chill, please. We're trying to show the lovely people some good games. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. I jumped to conclusions too soon. I didn't see that there was a member still loading in. All right, let's go ahead and get into this game number 2 between these two teams. On the left, up 1 game, we are going to be having gillyShark, with Stark going to be on the Zool. We'll have Jinxie Cat going to be on the Arthas. I don't know why my brain was doing that. Chess Leader's going to be on that Junkrat. Kage Carry's going to be on the Genji. And Kaibo Tripson in the center going to be on that Tyrande Whisper Wind. And on the right-hand side, down a game, trying to even it out, we are going to be having Team Braindead, with Zatch going to be on the Thrall. Mydra Knight going to be on... Excuse me. Mydra going to be on the Asmodan. Advent Blood going to be on the Diablo. Benji going to be on the Dahaka, and DB Smiley rounding out the team on the Deckard Kane. Bird going out already, Zatch getting hit in the face with it, and just going to be healed up right away. No big deal. Just kind of saying hi to each other, kissing each other a little bit. Dunk going to be going out, making sure that they get that little weakening onto the front lane, and that is also going to be the Gluttony here, but that is going to be a huge dive going out onto Benji here. They get the initial root, and they actually dive out onto this Kage Kiri, diving into the back on that Genji. That high mobility is going to get them a lot of value. First kill going over in favor for gillyShark as they continue to... Excuse me, as they go ahead and split their members off. Arthas actually going into the top lane, so actually Jinxie Cat playing a bit of a solo game in this matchup, as they just rotate with Stark and the rest of the members. And I actually really like this because, one, Stark went for my brain. There we go. Hold on. He went for Backlash? Interesting. DB Smiley getting caught out a little bit here. They actually have the concussion mine that it didn't go in the direction they were hoping for, but Advent Blood is being chased currently. Going to go ahead and get the lockdown, but that won't be enough. And that is just a safe rotation and safe disengage. Meanwhile, Mydra going to be continuing to stack these up. And the other thing, too, is that combo. I didn't realize the synergy that's going to be banked into the Thrall. With the Echo of Elements at level 1, that's going to be able to do that. Free Samuro? No, unfortunately no free Samuro. No Samuro this evening, as we actually see Zatch getting caught out here, and I don't think they're going to be able to get away from the sustained damage, and that is another kill for gillyShark, playing Towers of Doom very well here at the start, as we have Mydra and Advent Blood looking for those stacks on the Asmodan. And Stark continuing to soak this up. 4 is going to be achieved fairly soon for these members, but those early game kills, I wanted to talk about that really quickly and how you don't get the most value out of that. I mean, we're talking a front gate of a little bit more than a front gate, 140 more than that, because the each tower gives you 250 experience, 500. So it's not a ton of experience, but you can see that it is starting to shift them a little bit more in that range, and so this is what I wanted to talk about, and I actually kind of jumped the gun because I was just making an assumption, but this is going to be Grim's Scythe, and you can see this is going to be the wave clear tool that they want between this mid and top. You'll be able to utilize that Scythe so often and be able to just swipe consistently. Stark going to go back and get mana and just heal up for that, and Jinxie Cat still playing in the solo lane into Benji, just playing it safe, just really letting the wave crash into them, not playing too aggressive. If we actually look at the hero damage coming out from them, we only have about 3,000 on the Arthas, which does seem like a lot into that Zool, but realistically, they, just been kind of playing this pretty safe at the start. Triple altar phase to start us out here, and looks like we have probably left and right is going to be the easy trade between the two. I don't think we're going to see any aggression between that. Bottom is where we're going to have all this fight, and we have Advent Blood getting caught out here. That is going to be the Shadow Charge, but Kagekiri has found a target and is sticking to them like glue. They should be able to confirm this. The slow comes out from DB Smiley. Left side and right side are going to trade out. Dahaka going to get this burrow, though, and it might be a bad idea. Benji going to be walking out of there. They don't get the interrupt they're looking for, and that is 8 damage on the core of Team Braindead, while the members of gillyShark take 4, and they're starting to step up. DB Smiley going to get rooted here by the Zul. They want to walk onto them. They also get the damage, the armor reduction. They're looking for this kill. The backlash is actually, oh my god. Advent Blood playing that so well for the friendly team member there, getting the reposition with the overpower, making sure that the backlash didn't go off and get that burst of damage, because if I'm not mistaken, it's like around like 200 or something. 12, excuse me. I'm wrong completely. Backlash does 12% of their maximum health. That would have been a dead Decker Cane. Definitely. Crash Lightning on Thrall. He's a bit beefier mage. No, he went Echo the Elements. Crash Lightning is the red one. Echo the Elements is the minion one. So this is why I was saying that I actually like Echo of the Elements. Maybe I misspoke. I like Echo of the Elements because of the fact that if Asmodean's going to be going for clear and Thrall's in that lane, Thrall can then finish it out with that Chain Lightning, stack up those stacks a little bit quicker. But it seems to be, that seemed to be the goal. But the thing is, as this is kind of being, I wouldn't say picked apart, but they're having to kind of swap out their members here. We now see that the Dahaka is actually in mid, and we actually have the solo lane with Zash. So yes, still that solo lane talent, you can utilize that Echo of the Elements. It's just going to stack up a little bit slower than maybe what they were expecting, as they have so much wave clear from that Zul, and this is a bit of a hard thing to kind of start dealing with as you get that later half. They can really start to run away with the experience advantage that they can start to grab off of this, but we still need to talk about Asmodean on stacks, sitting at 54 stacks of that that gluttony currently. And once they can get those 200, they'll get the 0.25 cooldown from hitting minions, and then they'll also get the reduction on its 0.5. It's double on heroes, which is 0.5. But that is going to be the left side picked up here. They'll be able to feed this into bottom lane. Meanwhile, though, Bird goes out. The Owl making sure that they don't have any sort of capture onto this, and they also have the vision on who's where. And it seems to be this is going to be the trade. They'll take each other's cores down by 4 health each, and it looks like they disengage and they go back to soaking the lanes. We're going to continue just to see stacks achieved for both. We actually have the Crash Lightning being finished out. Excuse me, Echo the Elements finished out by the... Yeah, I've been having internet issues. Sorry about that, Raw Dog. Spectrum doesn't know how to give internet to their clients anymore, so I apologize, but I literally had a Spectrum guy here like 2 hours ago, and he claimed to fix everything. But we'll see. I will do my best to give you the best stream I possibly can, but we continue just to get this. That is going to be the stun going on to the Diablo as well. That is also going to be the stacks continuing for Mydra, and they're really not getting the stacks I think they're looking for. At this point, they're a little far off. They need to be closer to that 200, especially achieving that level 10 soon with that Tide of Sin. Or excuse me. Is it Tide of... No, it's not Tide of Sin. Oh, it is. We'll have to double check a 10. I'm just like, I'm doubting myself on that question now. But either way. Lich King God, Light Warrior. Oh, thank you all for being here. That is going to be Kagekiri just continuing to soak up mid. We'll have Jinxie Cat and Zatch in the top lane, and meanwhile, 3 of these members will be finishing out this camp on the right-hand side, trying to get a few sappers. Now, meanwhile, bottom has been opened up quite a bit. They do have some pressure. That Zul is doing a lot of work for them. Speaking of just kind of... you know, on that note of experience, not a big difference between the two teams, but it's slowly see a gap forming here as Kagekiri gets the dash out. They're mostly just trying to burn the abilities away, but they actually find Zatch here, going to actually pop the skeletons, and they're looking for an out. They actually get body blocked by Kagekiri, but the healing from Decker Kane will be enough. They're trying to make their way out of here, and it looks like that's going to be achieved easily. Pens for both teams, and we actually have that Shadow Stalk from Tyrande, so looking for that secret entryway. We also get the souls finished out for the Diablo, so they are fully stacked on the black soul stones as we currently just have this fight. That is going to be the Stale Wild Listen coming out, connecting onto 3, I think. That is also the Lightning Breath. Jinxie Cat in a bit of a bad spot, gonna have to pop the Army of the Undead. That is the silence, the isolation coming out from the Dahaka, trying to get that value, and they make it out just fine. Stark is going to be low on mana and needing to retreat, and also finding an inch out here, but Kagekiri at the same time getting onto Zac and getting them a little bit weak, and this is a crazy back and forth between these two teams, as it looks like they continue to get the stuns out and just interrupt this. Meanwhile, they traded, I was gonna say they traded out, but the interrupt coming out from Mydra is gonna get them a lot of here, and I think, yeah. Oh, Kagekiri just getting so much interrupt. They're able to poke this out. They get the bottom one, and they're able to move their way up here. Now, if they can find... Oh, the Riptire. If the... Oh, the Shadow Charge of the Riptire. Oh my god, the overpower to the Riptire. There's so much going on into it, but they aren't able to... They aren't able to channel this, and they start to aggress onto this. Zatch a little bit low here. A lot of the members needing to find some sort of exit out of this, as looks like Kamo trips and starts to channel this. They get the dunk out from Mydra, and that's not going to be available for the next 10 or so seconds. So this is going to be another altar picked up for them, and that is a lot of value for the members of gillyShark. 8 damage going into the core of Team Braindead, and it is Towers of Doom. 32 to 20 realistically means nothing. I have seen 32 to 6 games go down to 1-1 on the wire, fight over the boss. We'll see here. Tongue Drag going out on to Stark. Gonna just go ahead and walk right out of there. Sorry, I'm just looking at talents all of a sudden. I'm seeing Art of... So if you go... My whole thing... Alright, I'm gonna talk about this right now, because we have the time for it. If you go for the Army of Hell, you increase your cooldown by 10 seconds, but you get 2 Demonic Warriors. Great value, great push. Yes, I agree. But at 7, can't go for Art of Chaos. Yes, you get a lot more stacking, a lot more quicker, and you also get a return onto your mana, but really, Azmodan isn't really that mana-starved after level 6-7 area, it seems. Actually, 4 to 7 area, it seems to be right where you kind of fall into that slot where you're just fine. Why not go for the cooldown reduction off your auto, so that way you make sure that you're getting those armies out quicker. So that way you can pair that into your level 16, where you can also get the full channel of the laser and get the increased damage. This has been your local Azmodan PSA, but that's my whole thing. Jinxie Cat, thank you for showing up in chat middle of your match. Oh god. But meanwhile, and this is what I was talking about with Stark, the increased damage onto that Grim Scythe is going to get so much value. Meanwhile, though, Mydra is getting really good wave clear at this time, too, so we're really starting to work up those stacks with the Tide of Sin. Okay, my brain wasn't melting, and I definitely had it right there. Stream's lagging pretty hard. Sorry about that, Toxic. I cannot do anything. I have done all I can. It's all on Spectrum. Apparently, they don't know how to service their clients. But this is going to be the bottom, I think, traded out. They get the pick onto Benji here, and they trade out 4 shots, but at the same time, they pick up Boss, take that off the map, and take the enemy core down to 16 core health. Oof. It's rough. That's a rough position to be in, as they finish out this boss. They're not able to rotate up here quick enough, and that is 4 shots onto the core of Team Braindead. But at the same time, as I said, it's Towers of Doom. This can go any which way. Definitely anyone's game at this point, as they continue to get these dismounts and these pokes with the Owl from Tyrande. A very, very good, useful tool to make sure that you're also just kind of seeing them in these rotations, as well as that dismount, that slow. And I like this play into the top lane. Playing it a little bit aggressive here, but meanwhile, in bottom, they know that they're like, all right, well, we see that. Let's go ahead and just push in here and try and get a lot of value in this lane. Top lane has been opened up quite a bit. Good, thank you for that. That's a good emoji pairing. Brain dead. Nice. But this is going to be top traded for bottom. I don't think that they're able to get them off this. They do have a concussion mine, which will push them around here. Dash taking a bit of damage. They actually get a lot of burst onto them, but they should be fine. Riptire actually going to be coming out as well. Going to get locked down for a second. They actually get the Shadow Charge onto it. They're looking for Zatch here. I don't think this is going to yield a kill, but it definitely puts them in a bit of a rough shape, as this will be a triple altar phase. 10 altars. Excuse me. 5 shots in favor for the members of gillyShark. Team Braindead can do a total of 9. Same time, gillyShark can do 15 to their core, taking them down to 1. We'll see, as left and right are going to be tried to be picked up by the members of gillyShark. They do have the Azmodan over here, who's going to be trying to convert this, and they'll get the dunk out at the last second. That delays us a little bit. Decker Kane will get the bottom just fine, so that's going to be 3 shots going over, but they take 5 on the enemy side, but they actually get the extra 5 off, and that is a lot of damage going out onto their core, as there is going to be 2 members getting caught out here. Those will be the skeletons coming out as well. They get the dunk out, but that won't be enough, and that is going to be Benji getting caught out here as well. The root will go out, but they get the burrow now. Meanwhile, Advent Blood is looking for that flank. The Sundering will be coming out from the Thrall. They also get the lockdown and the slow onto a couple of these members, but it's not enough. DB Smiley is away from the team. They need to find some entry point, as Genji goes ahead and gets the dash through, but they go ahead and get rooted here. The stun goes out onto 2 extra coming out as well. Benji in a bit of a bad spot. They get that last hit. Soul's gone from Diablo. They lose their their Dahaka, and at this point, I wouldn't be too surprised to see them try and feed in these sappers. But no, they try and just open this up a little bit more. They want to maybe get the barrage going here. They're going to work their way down from top. This is huge. If they actually get the root onto Thrall, there's no cleanse. They can't get out, and that is the Thrall dead. They stagger a death. Asmodan back at this point, going to try and finish out those quests, so they do have the cooldown reduction at this time, able to get a few more dunks out, but the thing is, there's so much going on this map, and they know this. They know what they're going for. They know they're going for the barrage, so they move straight into top lane and say, you know what? We don't want that. Chest Looter and friends are going to be going ahead and just grabbing this camp here, and dear Lord, OBS, could you chill? Just level out for a minute. I do apologize once again. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Stark and Kagekiri are going to go ahead and confirm this bottom bell tower. Mid is going to be worked on by Benji, but they really don't have the biggest siege here, and they want to feed in these sappers. That puts them in a bit of a checkmate position. Well, not at this point. Boss is off the table. This sapper camp will only end it potentially, but they have the clear from Thrall, so this should be fine. Meanwhile, though, no one really on the altar just yet. 17 to 15 in levels. Pretty close here. They need to get this. Thrall actually leaving. Not going to get the clear onto this camp. These are going to be fed in. And there's another camp that's going to be going right through that lane too. This is a very bad position to be in. They get a lot of damage out. That is so much burst going out onto the Diablo. They find the Decker Cane and the Dahaka. The channel goes out from Chest Looter. The B steps from Zact, and this looks like it's going to be the game going out. B steps back and forth, but that is the core going down. gillySharks will take game number 2. GG. Well played. Whew. We're back. And the stream leveled out, of course. Gilly controlling the map so hard. Absolutely. They really, really did. Let me get a message out to Camo Tripson and see who they want to send. Who wants? Okay. Dang. just dang and dang to dang. All right, let's go ahead and jump in a voice channel so they can definitely jump in here. Jinxie is going to be joining us. All right, cool. Lobby 1. Alrighty, so we'll get her in here in just a second, and that was an awesome game too. Quick, very quick, honestly. 0 minutes, 0 minutes. It was a very, very quick game. No, I think it was. Yeah, it was actually like a sub 15-minute game. It looked like, so definitely. One of those. But at this time, we are going to be joined by the Arthas main herself. Jinxie Cat, how you doing? Congratulations on the 2-0 victory.
Hi, thank you.
So, I gotta ask, game 1, the Dahaka play. I liked it, but were there any situations where your team was lacking the initiative that you mostly get from the Dahaka with the lack of bushes on Volskaya Foundry?
Yeah, that was something we definitely talked about, and Stark said that our usual solo laner who can't be here tonight, that's something he doesn't prefer, but Stark was fine with it. We did struggle with it a little bit. I think it was more just a miscommunication, mostly throughout the mid game, that kind of hindered us with our Dahaka.
I mean, it did work out, but what were comms like when you were rushing that core? Because it got really close, and I think it was a clone Dahaka, and it was like Kage and Stark both just autoing on the core as a Dahaka. Were you all just like go go go? Did you think you had it? Can you talk about that as well?
Well, we were discussing about it, and we've been trying to work harder to just commit to plays, and we said, don't worry about the other tower, just go, get it. And then Stark was like, can we end here? And I said, I don't think we can. And they said, there's 30 seconds still down on Urel, and someone else was down for 25. And we're like, we've got this. Let's go.
White main too, I think. It was 3 down, and I was just like, did they go for it? Because I literally casted, like, I think a Storm Division match where that exact same thing happened last night. They took the same kind of wipe. They walked through top keep, and they took the game, but it was super, super close.
Yeah, no, definitely it was scary for a minute, and then finally I think it was Kagekiri who made the call. He was like, I have clone, just go. So we went in, and Kaimo Trips and our lovely support, he's firing off flares like a madman. He's getting all the heals in. I said, I have everything. So Chymotrypsin and Chest Looter are just running around being super obnoxious because, you know, like Chest Looter's Junkrat is toxic AF. I said, I have my ult up, and they were like, don't worry about us, just hit the core. So I summoned my little ghouls, I hit the core, and then finally we were just like, hit the core, don't worry about them, don't worry about them. And at that point, you know, I had my ult up, I had the spell armor that Arthas gets at level 20, I had the armor that he gets at level 1, and so I was like, guys, I can sit on this core like all day. So and that it was crazy. It was definitely a lot of yelling, but it was also kind of a lot of laughing just at how silly the whole thing was, because, you know, Chest Looter got like 3 rip rare values. Chymotrypsin had arrows coming out of like every orifice. It was exciting.
No, that was an awesome end to that first game. Now, going into match number 2, with the Dahaka having that heavy macro play, as well as the Asmonane with quick clear and just a lot of great poke and initiation, were you all worried at all because of any sort of potential, you know, lack of damage output, or just kind of, you know, fight that you could present, especially with having Azul, which is more of a very, you know, rotational lane clear, and just kind of out-soak them and really just outplay them on the map? Were you guys worried at all about what they brought to the table game 2?
Not especially, and I don't mean that to sound mean, but this is a comp we've practiced very hard. We've worked on it. We've watched VODs of pros doing similar things. And when they finally locked in the Thrall and we realized they had so many melee heroes, we were like, we've got this. This is easy. We've got so much lockdown. And, you know, with that first pick to Haka, I'm like, that's the perfect thing for Arthas. Like, that's one lane I know I can win. I will be the solo lane this time, and you guys just get crazy. So I'm not 100% sure what the rest of the 4 of them were doing, but I know in draft we were like, okay, it's another melee. We've got this easy.
So you played that PvE game. You just threw on some Netflix and you just ate a dinner while you just sat there and just autoed into the enemy hero. And you're like, oh, wait, I got to show up for objective. Let me just now actually pay attention to the game. You got to experience the wonderful solo lane life.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Nope. I was just, you know, I had like chicken nuggets over here, and then they were like, hey, could you get the left altar? And I was like, yeah, one sec.
But thank you so much for the games. These were awesome to cast and so much fun to watch. Before I let you go, any shoutouts that you want to give? Yes.
Okay. So shoutouts to Gillyweed also are always, because, you know, she's the best. Shoutouts to my team for being wonderful and sticking through whenever you know, we say things like, you know what would be good here? Arthas. Because as we all know, I'm an Arthas one trick. Shouts to the boys down over at ASU dorm. Like, I told them that I was watching, and the dorms team came out to support us, so thanks. Vader always for, you know, watching our little meme games. Thanks to the enemy team for coming out and giving us good games. Shouts to you for always casting us every week. We really appreciate it.
I mean, they're a blast of games, and I'm just hoping that someone doesn't do their research and doesn't ban Samuro, so I can see it one more time this season.
We're hoping, fingers crossed, or, you know, maybe like someone will challenge it.
I like that idea. I pose that to any Div B East team. Challenge the Samuro. Don't ban it. Challenge it. But I gotta say, thank you so much for the games. Thank you so much for the interview, and I can't wait to see you guys. I think your next game is Monday, and I think I've already claimed that one too.
Yep, we will be there.
So I'll see you next Monday. Thank you so much for the games. Have a great night, and once again, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
All right, thank you. You too. Everybody at this point. Oh, wait. Okay, there we go. I was like, Discord, what are you doing to me? That is going to be wrapping it up for me. I'm going to throw it to Talents one more time. I'm going to be back in 30 minutes with another matchup here. I'm not going to throw us to a BRB screen. I'm going to go ahead and host over another Heroes of Storm streamer. Thank you all so much for coming by and supporting the stream. I really, once again, apologize for the up and down. We dropped 19,693 frames tonight. Thanks, Spectrum. The problem's fixed, according to them. Can I show Talents again? Absolutely. I did it for you, Grand Paladin. But I'm going to be dropping stream. We're going to kind of I'll let my internet settle and take a break. Maybe it needs a nap. But I'll be back in 30 minutes with more Heroes of the Storm. If you did enjoy the stream, you enjoy the content, please go ahead and hit that follow button. Really, really do appreciate it. I cast typically Monday through Thursday. Hopefully we can level out the stream issues. I will figure out something. Maybe I just go and buy a new router and hopefully that just fixes it. Magic. I don't know. Someone who works for the internet companies, come fix my internet. Either way, thank you all for being here. I'll be back in 30 minutes with another matchup, but your support is awesome. Thank you all so much for being here. That wraps it up for me for now. I am Bahamut, your caster, your friend. I'll see you soon.